Hello world, this is backwards machining. At it again, bored out of my mind, so figure why not do some kind of video of some sort, pass the time. This is the Harbor Freight lathe I purchased and then later on converted to CNC. I use Mach 3 software. It actually works extremely well if you, hey Kazi, you just use the arrow buttons to jog in and out. But I figured we'd go over some of the parts of Mach 3, the wizard, see if we can't, learn something new. Okay, first thing we're going to do is face this aluminum bar, try to clean it up a little bit. It's a little wobbly. So we're going to hit enter, which opens up this tab right here. G, oh wait, getting a little ahead of myself here. 0. I'm going to 0 the X, N, O, Z. Then I'm going to go down. We should figure out what X is going to be. So what I'll do is I'll jog away from the part and then jog into the approximate center of the part. That way, when you enter your X coordinate, you have an idea of how far in you're going to go. Now this is 1.2. It's basically saying is the center on the X. So you can do this one of two ways. When you're facing this, you could bring it back to 0 and remember that 1.2, or you can 0 this now, the X, and then go into 0. Let's bring it back to the edge. Okay, we're at a safe distance. So we're going to type in, we're going to bring the Z back to 0 where we had it. So G01, Z 0, feed rate 1, and that should just bring the Z right where it was. That's close enough. Now we're gonna do X. Well, honey, what's the matter? He thinks I'm talking to him. G01 X 0 with a feed of, let's say, 0.5. That should be nice and slow. Let's see how this does. Alright, well, it's not touching any material anymore. So, hang on, I gotta get Cosmo out of here. He's getting a little rambunctious. Okay, sorry about that. I don't like them around me when I'm doing this stuff because I don't want to risk them getting any metal shavings on them or anything like that. What I did was I hit reset to stop the program because there's no point of going any further. We're not cutting anything. Now I'll use the jog button to bring it back. if you hold shift, it'll rapid, but I'm not in a hurry, so I'll unfocus you. Okay, so now we're going to bring the Z over a little bit more to take another swath. Now you can hit enter and up arrow since we already entered a Z coordinate. And again, depending on your lathe and your setup, is going to depend on your negatives and your positives, which way they're going to go. Mine, negative is going towards the chuck. So I'm going to put Z negative 0.01. So it should go 0.01 further in. All right. Now we're going to rerun arrow key up, and we're going to rerun the X to 0 with a 0.5. Let's not be stupid and let's turn the lathe on first before we do this. Okay. And lift off. I really like having this CNC because it's nice being able to walk away and do other things in your shop while you're entering the code. You can enter it as fast as you want. You can do a program however you want to do it. I like the ability to have this run while I'm doing other things. Alright, that wasn't a very big cut. I think we should, as Emerald would say, let's take this up a notch. Again, reset. Take it back out. So let's do enter, bring up the menu. We're going to do Z of 0.03. Now let's go crazy. Let's do 0.04. Yeah. Alright. Oh, that looks like a big cut. Okay. We're going to try it. Initiated. I would never try that with steel, especially on this lathe. It would, bad things would happen. Only because this is aluminum, I was a little brave there. I will say that these carbide cutters I got from Amazon, comes in a set of 5, are truly amazing. Cuts anything and it leaves a really nice finish. Even tool steel I've cut, no problems. No nub, come on. Alrighty. Alright. Good to go. Now we're going to back it back out. Of course it's got to cut some more. There. The first wizard we're going to look at is going to be the turning wizard. Just regular OD turning. We're going to need to know the diameter of this bar. let's see here. One and 1/8, which sounds about right since the X was 1.2, I believe. So we're gonna go in and fill these out as we go. X end, X start. Well, we're gonna say X start is going to be 1.2. We know it's not. We know it's 1 point whatever, 1, 2. But we're going to be on the safe side just for demonstration purposes. X end is going to be the diameter we are going to. Actually, you know what? Back up. What we're going to do to get a more accurate diameter is we're going to take a cut, measure that cut, and then input that number into the X start. Okay? So, we're going to say G01 X negative 0.2 feet of 1. I think that's a little too much. Hold on. Yeah, I meant to say 0.02. Okay, let's back that up. Hold on. Hold the phone. There we go. So let's try that again. This time with the right decimal place. 0.02. Okay, I think we're good there. Now, as far as Z goes, we'll just do 1/2 inch. Because essentially all we're trying to do here is get a diameter, a real measurement. So G01 Z, sorry, I'm looking through the phone and it's kind of difficult. Negative 0.5 with a feed of 1. This is aluminum, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Now before we hit enter, let's start this up. Alright. Now while that's cutting, the next line we're going to do is G00Z0. Enter. That way when it's done, it goes back to Z0. Just like it did. Now by the looks of it, we didn't take enough. We still got to do that again. So, arrow up. X02, we'll do X04. And then Z.5. Z0. Alright. I'm actually going to go a little bit back because it was kind of touching it, and reset the 0 and the Z. Alright. Let's see where we're at. Okay, let me retake a measurement here. probably can't see that. It's 1.105. So let's go to the wizard like we were doing. Pick the wizard. Turning. Run. OD turning. Now for X start we're going to put 1.105, which is exactly what the diameter is. We're going to end at, let's say, 0.9. Z start is going to be 0. Z end is going to be negative 0.5. That's fine. Clearance 0.02. That's good. Cutting depth. Now for aluminum we can make it bigger, but we're just going to leave this as is. Now if we hit post code, it's going to say the fillet radius is too big. Now what you could do, take it down a little bit and then hit post code. There you go. I cut it in half to 0.1 radius, and it shows you basically what you're going to be cutting. It shows you how many passes, etc., etc. Now you're going to take, I'm going to save the settings. You don't have to do that. Then you hit exit, auto, load. Oh, I think I messed that up. No, just had to hit cycle. My bad. Okay, just had to hit cycle. Now the program is right there, but we're not done yet. Don't hit start. What we need to do, now we know the diameter of the part. We have to make sure X knows the diameter of the part. So it's going to be 1.105. All right, so now we have that correct. So we'll start the lathe. And cycle start. Oh, that was anticlimactic. Okay, let's try that again. Cycle start. This is aluminum, so I'm going to turn the speed up just a little bit. I'm not using any lubricant. Now again, the machine, the wizard did all of the numbers, did the program for us. We just inputted where we wanted it to start and where we wanted it to end. And we put in the clearance. You know, if you have a backlash, if you have any of that stuff, you're going to want to make sure you put that in there. Now I could be a little more aggressive since this is aluminum, but there's really no point. You can't see it, but it's actually going to be making a radius right here. It's not going as far every time, and on the last two passes it's going to go all the way up and cut that little radius there. know the chip isn't optimal either, but I'm really not focusing on finish here, or speeds and feeds. Now we know ultimately the diameter when this is done, we put it at 0.9. So if my lathe is adjusted correctly, which bear in mind I have not used this in a very long time, it should be at or just above 0.9. According to the Mach 3, it's at 0.99 right now. You might be able to start seeing that radius, well, not the radius, but the taper inside that corner that it's leaving to make the radius. The next wizard we're going to do is a Morse taper number 2 for the tailstock. We're at 0.95 right now. Good, man, 0.92. I'm guessing 1 or 2 more it should start forming that radius. There it goes. I believe this will be the finishing pass. And done. All right. So we got a nice little radius in there. Not sure how well that you guys can see this. I'm trying to get you a good view. Come on, focus, you piece of junk. No, that's best I can get you. Now, the diameter, let's see what we got. .901. So that's exactly right where we want it to be. Anyway, this concludes our lathe CNC how-to wizard Mach 3 wizard turning program. I'm going to do the taper one next, and if you guys have any questions, just leave some comments below. And be gentle. I'm new to this. See ya.